delay in the start, but we are very excited to be able to then proceed to celebrate the young people who we've been working with over the last few months, and we'll fourth that awards cash grants annually to the most promising young agri-tech innovators across Africa. So this does not necessarily just happen in Kenya. It's happening across 10 different countries in Africa throughout the year, and as well as a region, being able to look for those Africa innovators who can then be able to propel agriculture by coming up with innovative solutions to solve a lot of the problems, to be able to catapult some of the solutions so that we're able to serve more farmers. Our esteemed guests, Kenya, and by extension Africa, Africa's best hope for propelling agriculture and transformation in the era of climate change resides in the youth. Where else we have different organizations investing in agriculture, technology, for example, Ayute, there are also opportunities for collaboration, synergy, and partnerships among the different stakeholders in the sector. As partners of the agriculture ecosystem, we need to start by envisioning the future and then starting to work backwards, removing the limitations of our fragmented thinking and finding new ways to empower agri-tech innovations through finance, technical support, and policy. Our take-home tonight is I want us to challenge ourselves. If we actually work together, we can grow together and scale up the impact of young innovators and small-scale holder farmers. Allow me to share a story of one Joshua Gitonga, who emerged last year's first runners-up. To start with, the inaugural Ayute in Kenya was the first time Joshua had actually ever pitched or spoken about his enterprise to people. He did not just win, but he went through a mentorship and incubation program, and that empowered him to scale up his business and connect with new investments, partners, and also donors. From his skills and experience, Joshua valuable support and will forever be indebted. I'll name just a few, but there were many because, as I say, it was not just in terms of volunteer a lot of their staff to be able to come and support the youth. And so I would like to mention Mastercard, Astro Aerial, Advantasip, alongside with many others who have offered us invaluable technical support throughout this journey. I look forward to an exciting evening, albeit in kind of some candlelight, which I don't know whether that was a plan. But I really look forward to celebrating and being able to interact with a lot of the young people sitting here. And also, I want to challenge the young people who are also here to be able to reach out and be inspired by others, particularly even the young girls from Kibera Girls Academy. Please, take advantage of this opportunity. Reach out and learn from some of these people who are ahead of you. Your dreams are valuable. Thank you, and God bless Kenya.
Better, because the party is the people. Remember, the party is the people. The party is the people. So next we want to invite on stage the next person who's going to give their remarks. We welcome Rosalind Ishuru, the Group Director, Marketing and Communications, KCB. Rosalind Ishuru is a seasoned marketing and strategic communications professional with a career spanning 23 years. She has proven track record in leading consumer, commercial, and trade marketing, having provided holistic brand stewardship in various local and international corporations across 39 countries in sub-Saharan Africa and in the US. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome Rosalind to give her remarks? Karibu.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I do like the idea of a candlelit dinner. So I just want to acknowledge all of the distinguished guests here this evening. I want to acknowledge the innovators in the house, the change makers, those who dare to dream, those who dare to reimagine our future. And not just reimagine, but to do something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening. I'm honored to be here today to join you on this very auspicious occasion as we celebrate the winners here this evening. Thank you so much, young people, and we acknowledge your efforts of creating innovative solutions in the area of the agricultural sector here in Kenya, but beyond, and that is the vision, isn't it? To go beyond the borders of Kenya. Before I go any further, I wish to express our appreciation to our host, Esther, and the team from Haifa International. Thank you very much for extending this invite to us and for giving us an opportunity to be here this evening. As I stand here today, I am immensely proud of the young men and women in the room who have shown their tenacity in finding solutions to Africa's agricultural challenges. We recognize the work that you have done and are especially excited about what you will become tomorrow. As the agricultural leaders of tomorrow, young people hold the key to the continent's survival and the burden to ensure that food security is shored up for the next generation and the decades to come. Through uplifting, upskilling, and a digital knowledge exchange, we must be involved across all stages of this value chain. So I stand here before you, not just as an invited guest, but importantly, as a potential banking partner. I am here standing on behalf of KCB. I am joined by my colleague here, Abraham, and others who are on the way. And we want to make sure that your enterprises are thriving, that they are flourishing, and that they are bankable, and we can continue to play our role as private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate you here tonight, I want to just share 4 key simple points with you around the theme Youth, Innovation, Agriculture, Uniting for Sustainable Progress in Africa, which is very much aligned to the theme of the evening. When it comes to agriculture, the role of the youth is quite obvious. They play a vibrant and diverse role as food producers, contributing to the food and nutritional security of their households, their communities. They also play a role as entrepreneurs, innovators who leverage technology, as we've just heard here today. They play roles as environmentalists, researchers, activists, journalists, all in a bid to build their communities' awareness on the ways to become more resilient to the climate shocks. Additionally, faced with rapid urbanization and a decline in rural populations, the question that calls for an answer is, how do we reignite that love for farming when the trend is to live in the cities and in the towns? I know going up country for me, every Christmas, it looks less and less young. It's the older people. When meetings are called in the villages, it is the older people. And it begs the question, how do we reignite the love for agriculture, the love for farming amongst the young people? So 4 things, and I want to share. Number 1 is that we must offer young farmers a voice and, importantly, a platform. So I applaud this initiative from Heifer International. It is platforms like this that provide you with a stage to make your dreams a reality. We must, as collaborators and as partners, leverage the youth as digital natives as well. Today's world is driven by many technologies, including blockchain, artificial intelligence, and the internet. Compared with older farmers, young farmers are more innovative and better adopters of modern technology. As the sector moves into a new era of agriculture 4.0, where solutions lie in digitalization, tech-savvy youth can be instrumental in transforming the food systems in their community. The third thing that I do want to share is creating access to green jobs. Presented with the right tools, exposure, and information, it is possible for the young people to drive us into the green agenda and to accelerate our steps in that direction. And lastly, platforms like this, and with a voice and with partnerships and people backing you up, it is a chance for you to make a difference and empower local communities. So allow me to congratulate all of the finalists who took part in this competition. Your willingness to challenge norms and seek solutions for a better tomorrow is a beacon of hope in our journey to transform agricultural systems in Africa. Your journey does not end here. It is but just a stepping stone towards a future where innovation and determination pave the way for inclusive growth. And to the ultimate winners, what a remarkable journey. And you are poised to showcase not just your abilities, but your unyielding spirit, dedication, and resilience. Your accomplishments are not just your personal victories. They are the building blocks for the future that we are all looking forward to. So as you move forward from this point, remember that your accomplishments go far beyond the prize that you receive this evening. You are pioneers. You are paving way for others to follow. Your ideas have the power to uplift communities, create sustainable livelihoods, and drive economic growth through the agricultural sector. Let this be a victory that is a reminder that no dream is too big, no goal is too distant. You are the embodiment of possibility. Carry this spirit forward as you continue your journey, knowing that the impact you make extends far beyond the walls of our continent and this country as well. Your actions today have set the course for a better tomorrow. A hearty congratulations to all of you. You are all winners. And I look forward to continued engagement in our efforts as collaborators, as partners, to transform our agricultural systems in Africa. Thank you very much for having us, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Rosalind Gishuru. You know, someone told me that if you want to know that a village is progressive, look if they have a bank around them. So I have so much confidence in the young people because Rosalind from KCB has just said that the young people are actually, you know, the pivot that the future is waiting for transformation. Thank you so much. For this to happen, we had a line of partners that have worked with us. So I'll just recognize a few of them. We have Pickport Spices, Moringa School, Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, Karatina University, Mount Kenya University, YGAP Kenya. Then we have Kayana Create. These are people that have participated in one or the other to make this their success. Now next we have George Masila, who's going to come on stage, and he's representing Dr. Tony Omwasa, the CEO of Kenya National Innovation Agency in Kenya. Can we all give a round of applause as George Masila takes the stage? Karibu sana, George, to give your remarks.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was hoping the MC was going to call out Dr. Tony Omwasa, and then I would stand up and come on stage, and everyone would question whether I am really a doctor. So, so very quickly, first things first, apologies. Dr. Tony Omwasa, the CEO of Kenya National Innovation Agency, will not make it on time. He's actually on his way, head to attend to some ministerial engagement in Naivasha. But the moment you see a bubbly gentleman walking, that's him. So, when we first interacted with HEFA International, it was because of Kenya Innovation Week. And we were invited to talk about growing together and give a roadmap to how we can continue working together, and with the theme of Kenya Innovation Week this year, which is innovating to unlock our Commonwealth, work together for shared prosperity. But just before I do that, I want to show you why we need to grow together. And I'm going to use the example of HEFA International. So we first interacted with HEFA International last year, I would say that, as a build-up to Kenya Innovation Week. And they wanted to host an Agri-Tech Connect session at the Kenya Innovation Week. So, of course, at that moment, we had finalists of the Ayute Challenge determined, and there was supposed to be a graduation. So they came and we blew the balloons, and it was a party just like today. And from there, we discovered that that is not enough, and we need to do better. We need to grow together. And that's the reason we are again working with HEFA International and a majority of the partners that I've seen here, and many of us who are also in this room. So, what's in it for us, maybe everyone who is here? I want to tell you something about Kenya Innovation Week. And Kenya Innovation Week is just not an event, just like it might sound. Kenya Innovation Week is a platform. It's a program for all of us. It's the biggest house where every tenant comes and finds convenience in. Why am I saying that? It's a movement in the sense that we bring together a gathering of governments, we bring together investors, we bring together innovators, we bring together enterprise support organizations like E4 Impact and so many others. We also provide platforms for innovators to exhibit, those in the early stages and also those in growth stage, for example. And I know Astral Air are a perfect example of the successes of these platforms. They've been exhibiting at previous editions of Kenya Innovation Week and Nairobi Innovation Week. And I know they can attest the power of such kind of platforms. So into the specifics of Kenya Innovation Week 2023, which will be a Commonwealth edition. So the Kenya Innovation Week will be happening at the Edge Convention Center from the 27th of November to the 1st of December. And the reason I'm highlighting the dates and the venue is because there is something for everyone and we need to grow together. So very quickly, I'll let you know what happens at Kenya Innovation Week. So we do run a couple of thematic sessions, which are in the formats of summits. For example, Heifer International is the track leader and will be running the international market in the format of the Commonwealth nations and also non-Commonwealth nations. And what we are going to do is we are going to put innovators and investors and startups together with potential partners in deal rooms where they're going to pitch, they're going to engage in sessions to unlock new markets and to unlock new partnerships, all right? I know when we talk about events, people are so obsessed with pitch fests and awards. I may not be the right person to talk about the pitch fest because I already see my track leader on Startup Kenya, which organizes the pitch fest, and also for this edition we'll be doing the Commonwealth Startup Pitch Fest, is here. But just to highlight is we'll also be providing platforms to our innovators, the ones we have represented here, and others to pitch to an audience of investors and partners from across the Commonwealth and also from different investors around here. And the reason I am happy, particularly for this day, is because we as the Kenya National Innovation Agency have been able to visit some of the beneficiaries of the Ayute Challenge. I'm particularly talking about the Farmer Lifeline. Is Farmer Lifeline around? Oh, they're not around. I thought graduates are invited to parties as well. All right. And we also have visited DigiCow. DigiCow is around? Okay. Maybe next time we'll have the finalists attend similar functions. And I've seen firsthand the kind of work that goes into incubation and acceleration of innovations, particularly those in agriculture. The impact is beyond just the space of agriculture. There is so much that agriculture offers, from issues to do with climate change to issues of the social well-being of people. So I'm particularly happy to see all this happening. And I have a date with all of you, hopefully, at the Kenya Innovation Week. So we'll be very happy to onboard you to participate at the Kenya Innovation Week. And I'm welcoming all of us to sign up, participate in different formats. There are so many opportunities to co-create. I talked about growing together. We just offer a platform where we actually don't manage everything. It's all partner-led. So everybody is welcome. We want to involve as many people as possible. You can write to us through kiw@innovationagency.go.ke. If you visit kenyainnovationweek.com, you'll also be able to get more details. And of course, in the next couple of days, we'll also be updating the website with more information. So at this point, I think I will have done justice to representing the CEO of the Kenya National Innovation Agency. If we get some more time, maybe once he pops in, he will get to say something. And asanteni sana. Welcome to Kenya Innovation Week. I'm happy to connect with a majority of you. If you need any information, we can engage. So thank you so much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much, George. I promise next time I'll call you doctor. Now, we want to shift gears. When you see me and Agnes on stage, it means we are shifting gears. And our legs are on the pedal. We are just about to accelerate.
Yep.
And our destination is a place called the Fireside Chat. Say the Fireside Chat.
The Fireside Chat.
Agnes, what is the Fireside Chat?
The Fireside Chat, you're going to have a discussion with a team of panelists around the role of agri-tech innovations in transforming African agriculture. And we'll have a very interesting session, I believe. And we have a moderator who I'm going to call on stage, Honorable Umi Harun Mohammed, the Youth MP, National Assembly from Garissa County. Welcome, Mheshimiwa. Honorable Umi Mohammed is a distinguished member of Parliament in Kenya, having been nominated to represent the youth of Kenya and from the northern arid lands. Prior to assuming her role as an MP, Umi made her mark as a non-governmental organization in Kenya that focuses on empowering young people in education and leadership. With a core focus on empowering the youth through education, peace building, resilience, and leadership development, her efforts have garnered acclaim and recognition from various quarters, such as the 100 most influential Muslims in Kenya and Zuri Awards. She has collaborated with organizations such as the European Union, the Aspen Institute, and other national, regional, international humanitarian organizations. Karibu sana, Umi. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Agnes, for the introduction. And I just want to again welcome everybody. I'm very honored to be here today, and very much grateful to Esther and her team for inviting me as well. So I have a panel of 4 members, and I would like to introduce them. If I mispronounce your name, please understand. I am used to speaking Somali more than English, so you will hear some Camel accent. First on stage, I would like to invite Miss Anika Ottersted. Karibu, Miss Anika. As she comes on stage, I'll read her profile. Miss Anika is the head of cooperation at the Swedish Embassy in Kenya. She's an environmental and climate change specialist with over 25 years of working experience, and has worked in both the public and civil society sectors, serving in several countries, such as Colombia as head of development cooperation, as well as in Mali. Karibu.
Thank you. Shall I sit here?
Yes, anywhere you're comfortable.
I'll sit
But
in
you
the
can sit right next to me.
There, no, okay, that's good. Thank you.
For the young people, keep note. This is a networking event, so I'm reading serious profiles. Next on stage is Edna Gadhigia. I hope you have Edna in the room. Yes, Karibu. Please welcome her. Edna Gadhigia currently serves as a partnership lead at DigiFarm Kenya Limited. DigiFarm is a subsidiary of Safaricom PLC that provides smallholder farmers in Kenya with end-to-end value via technology platform that can be accessed with a mobile phone. She has worked in the development and social impact sector in sub-Saharan Africa with a focus on partnership, development, working with organizations to mobilize resources to fund grand ideas. Her previous assignments include Africa Enterprise Challenge Fund, a subsidiary of AGRA, Yali Regional Leadership Center for East Africa, International Labour Organization, and the United Nations Development Program in Zanzibar. Karibu sana. I'm also a Yali alumni, so yes. You see, networking. Third on stage, I'll invite Tito Arunga. Karibu, Tito. Is it Tito or Tito? I hope I've read that well. Yes. Karibu. Tito is an agribusiness specialist with over 20 years of experience developing inclusive businesses that create opportunities for small-scale farmers, especially youth and women. He currently leads FAO Kenya's program, Kenya's sub-program on inclusive value chains that also comprises the youth in agribusiness portfolio. He has worked in the dairy, apiculture, horticulture, non-timber forest products, aquaculture and cereal sectors, improving food systems, stimulating access to local and regional markets, encouraging financial inclusion, and improving service provision. Karibu. And finally, I have Maureen Mwaniki. I hope we have Maureen in the room. Karibu, Maureen. Maureen's passion for engineering led her to one of the leading ICT companies globally, Huawei. She has since gathered 10 years of experience from different roles in the industry, having started off as a wireless engineer, and over the years risen to become director public. So the central side is also coming in. And delivery spokesperson. She's also the director of Women in Technology, initiatives that empower young girls to participate in STEM-related courses, and introducing over 5,000 plus young, relevant, current digital skills, mostly in rural areas, and has enabled 500 girls get online opportunities within their communities. At the same time, also supports training programs that empower women-owned businesses to improve on digital capabilities in the market, and has been able to drive digital progress within the organization. This has earned her a place as one of the top 30 most influential women in tech in Kenya 2020. Congratulations. So I have that panel. Yeah, I think you can get started. Is this my left or my right? Okay. So I will start on my right side. I was just confirming if that's my right side. Tito, I will start with you. And my question to you would be, how can mentorship, capacity building, and access to capital enable young agri-tech entrepreneurs in Kenya to scale their innovations and contribute to the agricultural landscape as a whole? And I think that's part of the conversation today's evening as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable MP, and good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to congratulate this Ayute initiative. HEFA and the Ayute initiative. Last year, I had an opportunity of being a judge. And what I can say, the pathway that is established in supporting youth through this initiative, I think is really the way to go. I wouldn't even propose anything that is new. But for me, starting from the mentorship program, the mentorship, the business incubation and the mentorship. Then, of course, the shared learning amongst young people, I think for me was really something. And you see, that process, I saw it help them build their business case very well. And indeed, I saw the role that E for Impact was doing in this. And I was really, it's really something. So that's, for me, that's the pathway. Eventually, as the business case now develops, becomes really a fully mature case, I think the process of then enabling them to also access finance was very critical. In the agriculture space, this is critically important because, like any other business, the initial capital outlay that you require, going beyond production, going into processing, sometimes is quite heavy. So that's enablement to be able to access finance, I think, is critically important. And perhaps finally I could say, yes, the youth get that opportunity to move their business, start their business, but the mentorship and coaching process, walking along with them to the point where their business now becomes really solid and they're able to carry on their own, I think is important. Beyond that, then I think one of the things I've experienced in this whole process is, what are the enablers that then make it possible for youth? Like in the agriculture space, one of the main issues is on access to land. How do we then really support and enable youth to be able to access land, particularly for production or even moving from production to processing? I think there's still a lot of work to be done there to make that happen. And FAO, working with other partners, is part of that space in trying to then work also with government to ensure that this becomes possible for young people.
Thank you. And I think your last point is very important because it's a serious challenge a lot of young people face, especially those who are delving into the agribusiness, women generally and the young people as well. But I like your points on the mentorship and walking the journey, very critical, even after we give young people the finances, and it's what Ayute is doing here. What next? How do we continuously mentor them? That's maybe where FAO comes in and other partner organizations. Thank you, Tito. I'll come back to you. I'll maybe go to you, Edna. What roles can agribusiness startups and entrepreneurship play in driving technology-driven innovations in Africa, and pretty much the role of tech in the agribusiness space as well? I think, yeah.
Interestingly, the tech failed. I think maybe from where we see it as Safaricom is the ability for us to support all of these entrepreneurs with all of the underlying infrastructure that they then need. I think the biggest challenge with agriculture is its lack of visibility. I think you have nuanced information, you have nuanced information about who a farmer is, but the farmer doesn't exist in the financial institutions, doesn't exist anywhere else apart from, let's assume, on a mobile phone. And I guess that's where tech comes in. The ability to see you have a very low digital and a low literacy sector. So then the question, low digital literacy sector as well. So then those two things, how do you then support the agripreneurs to even tackle solutions that then address these two things? Because I think sometimes we look at tech as, one thing that can come and cover all sins, but the infrastructure that is needed to then support like the agripreneurs, Say, for example, for a DigiCow to exist, there needs to be a phone, there needs to be network, there needs to be electricity, etc. And I think with the provision of that backbone, it allows a lot of the agripreneurs to see gaps that they can fill only because you're trying to drive this. And you may find that you find Safaricom doing things like Lipa Mdogo Mdogo, because the ability to drive the uptake of smartphones, for example, is what is also going to support agri-tech. Because without the smartphone, without the ability to have what we believe is the technology in the farmer's hands, then automatically displaces everybody in this agricultural sector. So we believe that we need to provide the background, the foundation, and then the agri-techs. It will be very easy for them to say a connection to a farmer requires bundles, requires phones, but that only works if we can develop the infrastructure and the foundation.
maybe just a follow-up on that, and you could combine this. If you look at the current tech environment in the country, with the ministry especially taking up aggressive initiatives on, connecting the countries with Wi-Fi, especially in rural areas, do you think that can help, especially with the, the digital infrastructure, for example? And you could respond to that by also answering the importance of data for the farmers, especially in accessing the markets and, yeah.
Okay, so the government is really trying. I think you've had, now there are going to be hotspots in the village. And so
the markets as well.
And the markets as well. And when you're looking at the ability to have something like internet connectivity in a market might allow, for example, some of the applications that drive market information to be then disseminated back to the farmer, right? Which typically would not exist if then the infrastructure didn't exist, right? And I think even in looking at the government's drive to develop, low-cost mobile phones, and so that kind of technological drive, because I think those are the enablers of technology that then allow all of the agri-tech solutions to come up, right? And so I think we applaud the government's initiatives, and I think we will continue to work with them to drive this. The importance of data, I think, is completely understated. I think today, if everybody knew what everybody was growing, where they were growing it, how they sold, then you wouldn't have an issue of farmers being unbankable. So the ability to create digital profiles, not only for buyers, but also for aggregators. Because sometimes we see that's the big gap, right? Because all of these brokers, and I know people, demonize brokers, but they still perform a very important function in the market. But the question becomes, how do you enable him or her to better serve farmers? The ability to drive even things as simple as, say, for example, you're in a marketplace and you don't know what the price of produce is. Are we able to get that data to the farmer? Are we able to use technology, for example, where things like agricultural extension is going to become increasingly harder to do person to person? But maybe if a farmer has a smartphone, they can take a photo and send out something to an AI machine that can tell them, this disease, you need this pesticide, it's available at Agrovet X at price Y, as opposed to the time to get to the Agrovet, not miss it, go to 2 or 3. And that's the power of technology. But all of this cannot exist without data. And that's why I think one of the core drivers of the technological revolution is, let's get smartphones or even phones into the hands of farmers. I know there's lots of talk of, very high smartphone penetration in Kenya, but unfortunately that doesn't relate to, or it doesn't translate to the rural areas.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kenya is placed as one of the most digitally connected, active mobile users, but how impactful is that to the rural farmers? And I think your points are valid. Hopefully we get to a place where as a country we are able to get all this information, because it's a challenge farmers face across board, especially with the diseases and all these emerging issues. I will come to you, Anika. I hope I've pronounced that well. I'll combine 2 questions. You've implemented various projects to transform agriculture productivity in Kenya. How has this transformed the lives of smallholder farmers? And maybe you can also couple that with the opportunities within the embassy, maybe opportunities that the embassy sees in investing in youth-led agri-tech innovations.
Thank you. Well, happily enough, according to the last discussion on statistics and information, Sweden is working together with the Kenyan government and FAO on increasing the access to statistics and information on pricing within the agricultural sector. So that is a new program which I think will facilitate people's knowledge about how much can I sell my tomatoes for and where do I find the tomatoes. So that's a good way of linking the consumer to the producer. Apart from that, Sweden is working in all the 47 counties in an agricultural sector development program, which is now transformed into the county level, where, as you said, a lot of farmers, men and women, have improved their living conditions thanks to increased income from their farmer activities. So each county has decided upon 3 different value chains, and we see, and according to the last review of the program, both productivity and production has increased, meaning that each farmer has improved their living standards, at least potentially. It's also dependent on a lot of other factors. And we will now continue supporting the agricultural sector since, as we have said, it's such an important sector in a country such as Kenya. I would think that it's important in every country. What we want to do now is, of course, to increase the focus on young people, entrepreneurs, and their access to not only land, but also to credit. So we do work with, for example, KCB. We work with other investment banks to ensure that their capacity to lend to small-scale farmers and people without, not many assets, women and men, so that they can afford investing in their own agricultural land. And we also work a lot with refugees now, and we want to also ensure that they can start agricultural businesses. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have land, but you can start agricultural businesses with agricultural technology or being one of the other partners in that sector. But we think it's important that both the banks and other financial institutions, as well as the credit takers, understand what does it mean to have a credit, what does it mean to lend. I need to give it back, I need to invest, I need to improve my income. I think what we have spoken about today is one part of the cake, so to say, as we say in Swedish. It's talking about the innovations, young people's capacity to develop new innovations, because we have technology, we have smartphones, we have access basically to all research in the world. Now, anybody can access any information, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you as a person have the capacity or the ability to transform that information into something useful. So I think the schemes that we have seen today here through HIFER and others is very important, because it's turning that knowledge into something concrete and practical, which can be used in, for example, the agricultural sector. I also think that if we want, or if you want in Kenya, to make use of all these young people that do live on the countryside or in the cities without jobs today, it is important to make the agricultural sector attractive. And that's why I also think it's good to link it to technology, innovative financing, because it makes it more attractive to young people. But then, of course, and I'm saying this now to young men and women here, that nobody will be able to develop their business, nor increase their income, nor become happy people if you don't share the burden, the work burden at home. So to young people, if you want to have happy families with you, men or women, working together to increase the income of the family, you need to make sure that you have a very equal work burden at home and at work. And happy to see that we're so many women here in the panel, but that is really something that Kenya should think a lot about. Another issue I want to mention is corruption. There are so many startups, financial flows in Kenya, which are affected negatively by corruption. So if you want to make use of the funding that is coming to Kenya, you need to support everybody and the government and yourselves in fighting corruption, because otherwise the funding will stop coming, and that is for sure. So, happily enough, Sweden, and now I see my Irish colleague here, Jill, we do support Kenya because we really believe in this country, and not the least in the young people and your capacity to develop and to improve the living conditions for everyone in the country. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, please. Thank you, Anika. I think you raise crucial points, especially on the last bit on corruption. It's a serious challenge, but I feel like at the end of the day, responsibility of every individual to take accountability, whether they get support, the recipients of funding, and even the donors who are investing in this particular space. You also touched on KCB being one of your partners. I think I have seen quite some work that they've been doing, and I think we must appreciate the likes of KCB because they, like you said, we should make agriculture attractive to young people. And the biggest culprit is always mostly the implementers in the space, where the front page of the reports are always older people. Then how can we engage farmers, and how can we make programs, to be more lucrative to young people? So I think I've seen incredible work, and if we continue working hand in hand like that, I believe we're able to make a difference. I will now come to you, Maureen. Seeing that you come from the private sector, what role does the private sector play in accelerating adoption of technology in agriculture, and also maybe give us a bit of the work that Huawei does in the agribusiness space as well?
All right, so thank you so much. So once again, yes, my name is Maureen, and I work for Huawei Technologies. One of the things is that I'll start by confessing, we've not really gone deep, let me say, because we've already started. We've not gone as deep as we should on agriculture. Why is that? Is because we were mainly a mobile phone company, and then we evolved over time to become equipment manufacturers. Equipment manufacturers meaning for you to receive any 4G, 5G, 3G on your phone right now, that is actually our equipment. And over time, we have focused a lot on that. But now we realized there's a lot of things that we need to do more, including solar and the likes. And in agriculture, we've just started doing a couple of areas, such as we're doing a lot of research and development on things that we can have, the technology that we have, the equipment that we have, the digital technology that we're using, to link it to support what farmers can use on ground. So example, like IoT technology, which at the end of the day, if we're able to use such kind of information or equipment that can enable farmers to understand that this is what I need to plant at this time, this is what I need to improve or change within this season over time, it will help us to be more smarter in how we do things. One of the other areas is that we've really tried to do very well, especially on connectivity and connectivity around the country, which is something that will end up using the equipment that will be used on ground. So example, right now, drones are becoming a key thing on ground. So out of the drones, they'll end up using 4G, 5G, which will be very critical, which is very critical. And that is what will be used to pick information from ground on farm and be able to transmit that particular information on what the farmers can be able to do and make it more, again, smarter. Also, if you've noticed that right now also drones are being used to do like, what do you call it, like to spray the farms. So out of that, it needs any kind of stuff like that requires connectivity. And so we are very heavily invested in connecting in some of this around the country. And if you've now seen around Nairobi, we're moving on to other areas, is that 5G has become very, very critical, including to our customer Safaricom. And it's something that will be critical in the agricultural space. We also have platforms that we have. So when we talk about picking a lot of data, where is that data going to? You need to store that data somewhere, and that is the cloud platform. So we've tried to make our cloud systems as accessible as possible. We're also building applications to support. So let's say like you're here as innovators and you feel that you need platforms where you can be able to innovate and see how you can work together with other organizations. Then we're able to create that for you and build that to connect to farmers, or even the other way around. But that is mostly on a high level. When we move now to the farmers on ground, what are we really doing? According to 2 areas that we focused on is that, number 1, we have something, actually 3. Number 1, we have something called a DigiTruck. So there's a truck, a mobile truck that moves around the counties, training people on basic digital skills. And one of the things that we think that we shall be able to add, because we do basic e-commerce, how people can be able to trade online if they have some produce with them, how can they be able to, just go online and know what to do? Because the problem is that why it's becoming boring for our younger generation is because they know how to use technology, but they don't know how to use it effectively. So that's what now we are trying to use, and that truck actually moves around. It stays in a county for about a month, and one of the things is that we're also bringing in younger people to enjoy using the digital skills to make them more business or more of entrepreneurs rather than just looking for white-collar jobs. 2 is that we have something known as DigiSchool. So we are connecting schools to the internet. And through that way, together with the Ministry of ICT, we've connected a couple of schools in different areas. Now, with the school being connected to the internet, it means that we are also benefiting the community around. If they're able to come, they do some learning on how they can improve their farming, because the internet is basically free within the school. This ends up becoming something that is sustainable for them to think beyond that. But how do we do that? We end up doing some trainings which can help enhance how they are going to be on the internet, because you can't take normal internet just there and tell them, okay, now you have internet. If they don't know how to use it, they will not use it effectively. So that is another area that we've tried to really enhance to support also on the farmers, especially younger farmers. And then the last one is also on an area that we're really trying to enhance, and I'm glad to see Tony here, is doing the innovation, participating in innovations. So we have competitions and I'm thinking right now we'll really look into partnering with HEIFA, especially on innovations like this, because instead of us doing our own innovations, which are digital, and then we also have some innovations around this. If we can combine that kind of thing, then it ends up becoming something that we can put on our DigiTruck, and people end up doing innovations around agri-tech that benefit their community. So, because different communities have different benefits around that. So I think that will be some of the key areas that we focused on. Yes.
Thank you, Maureen. I think from what I'm picking, 2 key issues. One is what Edna had raised on bridging the digital gap, especially, yes. And service providers like Huawei, can come in to actually improve that sector. Yeah. Not just providing data connection, but also in, producing affordable mobile phones and, yes. and stuff like that. Yeah. Also, something that's coming up strongly is partnership. So if we can have the likes of Huawei holding hands with, Safaricom and going down to the farmers, we are able to solve half of our problems. And coming to you, Tito, still on partnerships and collaboration, these are critical areas. So partnership and collaboration are critical if efforts of the agricultural ecosystem are to achieve impact at scale. What are some of the opportunities for partnership with AGRA and in supporting young entrepreneurs? Maybe you can also introduce or define what AGRA is for those of us who might not know.
Okay, small correction. FAO.
Yes.
Food and Agriculture Organization.
FAO, yes. So,
yeah. Okay. No, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And FAO is a UN agency in Kenya with the mandate of ending hunger in the world. And we basically work within the agriculture sector. But the agriculture, and we work within the UN, we have 3 agencies who are involved in agriculture. We've got the World Food Program, we have IFAD, and IFAD is gladly actually represented here by the country director, Madam Ayute, and FAO. Yeah, so this is the work that we do that is related to dealing with the issues of hunger in the world. And in Kenya, in particular, we are involved mainly in supporting the government and working in partnership with many other partners to really deal with the issue of food and nutrition security. One of the interesting things that maybe this forum should know is that Kenya came up with commitments on what they describe as the food systems pathways. You know, the issues that are required then to be prioritized in dealing with the issue of food and nutrition security. There are 3 areas that I think are important for people here to know. Number 1 is the issue of enhancing or providing more opportunities, improving the productive opportunities and access for women and youth. That is a commitment that Kenya has made. So in terms of the process of having an enabling environment for young people in the agriculture space, this is a priority. The second is on the digitization. The digitization, which has been talked about here, is one of the key pathways for achieving this food and nutrition security. And very glad to hear what is being said, and as was said by the representative from the Swedish Embassy, through a joint collaboration and the support, Kenya is currently implementing what is called the Kenya Integrated Agriculture Management Information System. And next week and for the next 3 weeks, almost across 23 counties, there's an elaborate registration process that is going on to register all farmers in the country. And this time, I think we are going to have very good and accurate data with geospatial referencing, you know, so that in future, based on where you are, you can be able to get information through that platform. You know, what's suitable, what's suitable through the soil profile in that area, and all other information that can enable you then move towards doing more precision farming. So I think that is one of the opportunities. And if there are any people here involved in the productive sector, I hope that you will get the opportunity to get registered on that platform, because for the future, it's the platform that has been taken by the Kenyan government as the official platform for registration of farmers. So that is one opportunity. The other pathway that was introduced very recently in the last 3 months is on enhancing partnerships. So you're asking me about partnerships. That is it. I mean, it is acknowledged that, I mean, the challenges in this sector are huge, and not any one organization, institution can manage it alone. So there has to be some enhanced partnerships between the different entities that are involved in this sector. Zeroing down on FAO, what opportunities are there? I'll give you just a few statistics to then tell you some of the opportunities that can be there for young people. Number 1, the feed ingredient, the protein ingredient for feed, Kenya imports 90% of the protein ingredient. This protein ingredient comes from crop products such as soya, sunflower, cotton, seed cake. But there's also animal protein, which, there's an enterprise on the black soldier fly as one of the insects that can be able to provide this protein ingredient. There's a deliberate push towards import substitution in this. And FAO, working with the government and with other partners, we are closely working with MasterCard on this to also then make that protein ingredient more available in the country. There's the byproduct that comes, actually the feed product is the byproduct, but there's edible oil, which again, Kenya imports the edible oil you find on the shelves, 62% of it is imported edible oil. Again, there's also opportunity in developing this value chain. I think if there are young people who are involved in any of these sectors, that is an area that FAO is working on. Mm-hmm. Again, also on the crop side, looking at both cereals and pulses, and also on the aquaculture, where I know our partner organization, IFAD, is also big on. So these are areas that we are seeing them developing over the coming years. And young people, we'd like to see more young people get involved.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teto. And just while you still have the mic, maybe because we are coming with the final round of questions as we wrap up, maybe one message or a brief statement to young people or the people in the room on what you could tell them regarding agriculture, just briefly.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, agriculture offers big opportunities. I think if you see some of the large-scale producers, you can see people who have made investments and have been able to make a lot of money out of this sector. Now, the good thing is that agriculture is not just about production. Mm-hmm. There's so much that happens across the value chains, yes, from production, to value addition, to moving products to market. There's a lot of opportunity across the space. So my message to young people is it is not an easy business, but it is a business that if you get right, then it can actually put money into your pocket. So I think the most important thing is not trial and error to eventually get there. Of course, we learn from mistakes, but you want to minimize the error so that you don't lose money in the process. So it is important to be able to have the right information in order to be able to develop your business to the right place. That information, the good thing is that with now the digital space, there's a lot of information you can access. FAO has actually supported, there's a platform called Africa Young Agripreneurs. That platform has a lot of information that you can be able to access. There's a lot of shared learning amongst young people. So as you continue to build your business, the learning process has to be continuous. And I believe you will get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback and your remarks. I can definitely see the much experience that you have, and I encourage the young people in the room to also, reach out to you in case they're interested in the opportunities. To you, Edna, I will also ask you the final question and also give your final remarks. What are you doing to ensure that smallholder farmers who still embrace traditional farming practices are not left behind with the shift to modern agricultural technologies?
That's a
just
hard
briefly,
one.
because briefly, so that we can be able to also close up the panel.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
I think I think the question then becomes what is traditional? Because I think the bigger issue is what's efficient and what's not efficient. I think that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get or professionalize the ag sector from the smallholder farmer because, like Tito has said, if you're looking at a large-scale farmer, what they've been able to do is optimize their process, professionalize their process, then grow to scale. And that's what we're hoping can be the same thing with smallholder farmers. So I think the issue here is not traditional. I think the issue here is just what is not efficient and trying to reduce those practices and then trying to improve efficiency through tech. And I think tech here is everything from provision of irrigation solutions to can we get credit scoring for farmers so that now you're able to say, hey, from your M-Pesa records, I can see you've been farming for 5 years. This has been your, rough average income, and therefore you're suitable or available for credit of amount X. Because that's the point. The point is just improving the efficiencies in ag. And I think that's what DigiFarm is trying to do. Creating a platform. And when we say platform, I think we see ourselves more as an enabler. We don't want to come and do everything. Ag, no one person can solve. So the question becomes, how do you create a platform where everybody can come in and support farmers? So that's the Safaricom dream when it comes to agriculture. Creation of a platform where a DigiCow can come and plug and provide that service to smallholder farmers. I keep using DigiCow because it was given as an example, yes. But many other. I think we've done some work with Aerial. Wow, my central business is entering. Astral Aerial, right? Yeah, and we've done some work with them, and it was amazing to see how a farmer didn't know a drone can be used to spray mangoes, right? And so the question becomes, what are the other, and I think this is now for the agripreneurs in the space, what tech can you bring, what APIs can you build and plug into the platform to provide that service to smallholder farmers? And I think that's the dream for us, developing a platform where anybody can plug in to provide services to smallholder farmers. And I guess that's the clarion call. So my final comment would be wrapped up in that is, if you do have an application, we're always happy to listen, to see what are the spaces we can actually support young people to do this. Safaricom also has like a Spark fund where we look at agripreneurs, and this I think is across a couple of sectors, I think in health, education, and we're always looking for young people who have innovative ideas which we think can transform the sector. So I think ours is we're open to work, to partner, and to collaborate.
Thank you so much. I think it's a good thing because teaching farmers how they can catch up with the ever-evolving digital space is very important, especially to the small farmers, so that they're not left behind. So I will come to you, Anika. What is the future of agri-tech innovations on global expansions, and also briefly, a message to the young people and our colleagues in the room as your final remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, a lot has been said about agri-tech and digital solutions, but I think that obviously a lot of global investors will be willing to invest in that sector, since it will, I think, be ultimately important for the future, since everybody knows now with the Ukraine crisis, with the invasion by Russia in Ukraine, that the prices of food, prices of energy have increased immensely, has a very negative impact on everybody basically in the world. So I think that people will be willing to invest both in diversifying agriculture, ensuring also that more countries are self-sufficient. If I look at my country, Sweden, I would say that quite few young people are working in agriculture. Perhaps more, more people are coming in again, because people realize that it's within agriculture that you will be able to support your own people in terms of crisis. So I think it's important that young people use their talents and their capital to, in Kenya, link what is new in terms of technology in the world, innovative financing that might be accessible partly because of climate adaptation, climate mitigation measures. So they might be in financial investments that might take place from other countries. But I also think that you need to think about how do you include all parts of Kenya in the development. I don't know the percentage of agricultural land now, but I've seen a lot of the northern parts, the south counties in Kenya, and the production level and the productivity level is very low there due to many reasons. Climate change, one, natural resources degradation, two, lack of water, of course, and then a lot of people with a lot of cows, or a few people with a lot of cows, but not really a balance between what nature can sustain and the way people live, in spite of the fact that people are so poor. So I think that is one thing you should try to think about. How do we include more people in the agricultural development and in the technology transition, digital transition that is taking place? Otherwise, more people will be left behind, and that is contrary to your president's speech and the intention of a bottom-up approach, more inclusiveness. So I think that's one part. The other one is sustainability. There has been a lot of examples around the world in increasing productivity and increased production, which has had, in the long run, a negative impact on both environment, people's health, and the productivity. Look at some countries where they've lost basically all their floods, their waters, because they've had very unsustainable ways of agriculture. So I think you have the opportunity to develop innovations, new technology, which is suitable for a future which is much more sustainable than it has been for the last 100 years everywhere in the world. Less pesticides, more organic fertilizers, of course, a completely different way also of looking at social inclusiveness. So I think that's where you could have a great impact. And then the last thing I would like to mention is the regional trade. Because in order to increase certain products, you need to be able to sell them where you live, in your country, in your county, but also across the borders. Some products are not suitable for exporting far away across the world. So those three aspects, inclusiveness, the whole country, sustainability in everything you do, and then regional trade. I think you'll succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Anika. And I'll come to you, Maureen, for the final question. What advice would you give young entrepreneurs or innovators who are interested in applying innovative technology that provides solution in the agricultural space? And I think you can also wrap it up with your message.
Okay. So I think what I usually, especially around when I do a lot of mentorship and also just to link it with what we do as an organization and basically, how can we be able to support the younger generation coming up? We need to make agri-tech fun. The reason when I visit the rural areas a lot and you see the young people, the reason why they want to move into doing things like IT, that kind of space, AI, is because they find it's evolving quite fast, and it's evolving based on their taste and preferences. Let me use that. Now, how then do we change that taste and preferences of what they like and link it with agriculture? So example, like right now, I was just thinking about how can things like, example, the social media be beneficial to someone who is a young person and be able to do a short video and put it online, and they're able to get buyers from outside. So such kind of things makes it fun that they enjoy doing something like being on social media, but they're using it to benefit them. Yeah, a lot of people right now are online selling stuff or even doing applications. How then do we even enhance things like applications that they can make that can support them in linking actual farmers or even themselves as farmers to make it more digital, you know? And I think that is where we need, the moment we can tick that and make it more advanced or more of smart, I'll keep using smart, is the part that I think it will really entice the younger generation to keep moving into this. Because why we're having so many innovators and why they're really, really, really eager is so that they can have the ideas that they have the things that they have on ground, but then be able to make it in a way that, you know, we need to understand that Gen Z right now wants quick stuff. So how then do we make it quick and not boring so that even as they advance, they keep changing along that? Another thing is that we have the government is doing a lot of things around innovation centers in different regional, and I'm sure, Honorable, you can be able to attest that even this is a discussion that is in Parliament, that under the Ministry of Youth Affairs is that they're really going to put a lot of emphasis in the innovation or youth centers across the country. How then do we make sure that we utilize those youth centers to actually have people come in and get trained, or they can get some of these skills so that they can be able to enhance? And people like us, or even Safaricom or other UN agencies, going to those actual youth centers and attracting more people to come, and even aggregates to come and get some maybe skills or training, and also have some levels of R&D in these youth centers. Why? When we have more of research and development organizations in these areas, it means that as even we are having climate changes, when we're having all these changes across, we are also able to evolve so that we are not producing things that are not useful to the users or to the demand side. Yeah. And last but not least is that we need to accept or need to enhance or need to motivate the younger generation to keep learning. They have to keep learning in terms of enhancing their knowledge in the newer developments. So as technology is evolving, how then do they keep up with the trends even outside? What are the things that people who are in other countries doing that they can be able to enhance? Maybe let's say like in China, what are the things that they're using, smarter ways in which, and then now you can be able to try and adapt. So lastly, as I wind up, is that one thing is that food, or let me use, agriculture is a space that we can never ignore. You know, you can talk about maybe say digital evolving and all this. Agriculture, because we all have to eat. So the fact that we have to eat, it means that we have to find people being in the farm doing something to give us food. So then how then do we change that demand aspect to become more demand driven, and also have the utilize the government institutions to support us as we pull this kind of demand? And I'll challenge the younger people is that try and check online. What are the facilities that the government is giving to enhance, like in terms of maybe say like organization like the Kenya Investment Authority. They're even giving, they're supporting investors to come and link with people who want to try and look for opportunities, and they get some funding. So I think those are some of the things that you need to check online, and you're able to even make, you can even be able to grow your business so long as you have an actual business case.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think we've come to the end of our discussion. Please put your hands together to appreciate this panel. Thank you once again. I think my final remarks and the key thing that I picked up, especially when you were speaking, Tito, and the issue on the Innovation Hub is how exactly can we now also utilize the arable lands within, because we have quite some space there, and the issues on crops like the proteins, sims and all that do very well in especially arid areas. So that's definitely a challenge I am taking myself, and it's something I advocate for in Parliament. So thank you so much. Thank you to the audience for listening to us. I think we can head back to our seats.
Anytime she turn around, she got me over. I see the back, I know the doubt.
So thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. We are going to invite you back in a few. Right now, we're going to have the video that is going to just give us a glimpse of the experience that the innovators have had over the last 6 months. Karibu sana.
Where we call for applications from youth. I got to know about Ayute African Talent through the network of innovators. And I realized that Ayute actually was innovation. We found that that's a good stage to be. We wanted to get a national output, so we were looking at the regional blocks.
We are a producer of cooking fuel that we make from 100% bio-waste, which is food waste or food byproducts.
Our solution provides smart, controlled environments, smallholder farmers, which are autonomous.
We've grown our numbers to about 5,000 monthly. Farm Lifeline leverages proprietary devices that capture images of crops on the farm. Then, in the event of a pest or a disease, a farmer is notified immediately.
That's one area of our kind of employment and actually earning more. To get this,
Hana full names. Akonazo.
Thank you. I would like to now call on stage Halima Nankeri, who is from the State Department of Livestock Production. I hope we have Halima with us. Karibu. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of my PS, Mr. Jonathan Mweke. He sends his apologies. He would have wanted to be here, being also very youthful. Unfortunately, he's not able to be, but he sends his greetings. Mumepokea. Thank you very much. I also feel privileged to be here, having first heard of Heifer International almost 30 years ago, in the mid-90s. I worked in Western Kenya and interacted with Heifer International, and I was happy again almost 5 years ago to again interact with them, and only to learn that they are still active, and today here we are, going even a notch higher. So congratulations, Heifer. Now, it's also exciting that we are talking livestock. I don't know how many know what heifer means. In simple terms, this is a girl in terms of the animal. So this is a young cow. So heifer means a young cow. So you can imagine. So if I met them 30 years ago, and from that heifer, how many offsprings are there now? See, they could have filled the country. So I think even the name alone means a lot. Allow me also now to appreciate that as far as livestock is concerned, we believe it is the game changer for a lot of things in this country. And specifically now that we have more than 80% of our ASAL with livestock being almost 70%. So it is very possible that we can improve only if we go the tech way, if we go climate smart way. Because at the end of the day, the space is there, the technologies are there, the innovations are there, so it is about production. So if we increase our production, then we are able to at least ensure that we are able to change this country. In terms of livestock value chains, I think most projects in this country, you'll find that the youth are attracted to a lot of our livestock value chains. And most projects, more than 70% of the value chains are livestock. So again, why are they attracted? Because it is very interesting and you're happy to work with the livestock value chains. And we are told for any value chain, a chain is as strong as the weakest link. So for the youth in the house, identify that weak link and maximize what you can do in that particular link. And one of the maximization that we have had today is about technology and innovation. So I think that is what we need to. So I will share with you the address from my PS, and then we can see what he has to tell us. Heifer International is a global development organization on a mission to end hunger and poverty in a sustainable way. Very important, sustainable way. Working with farmers and their communities to identify and invest in agribusiness opportunities that deliver living homes. Heifer International creates solutions designed to build inclusive, resilient economies since 1944. And it has assisted more than 40 million people around the world. The Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya is an excellent incentive because it rewards innovation. And I think anybody is motivated by being rewarded. So this is a very good initiative by HEIFA, and we hope that others are going to also take up this. Access to the opportunities that drive innovation is key to motivating youth involvement in agri-tech and sustainable opportunities such as these competitions that reward participants will mean that they carry technological innovations that are important to the youth who are interested. Engaging the youth in agriculture through technology is also very important, and the sector presents a huge opportunity for the creation of employment to absorb the youth and ensure that the achievement of food security for future generations. What we invest on now has an impact on the future generation. A review of existing programs targeted at smallholder farmers and youth must be conducted to determine if the current strategies support the African farmer with the use of technology. Innovation must be viewed within the context of the current realities. We need to engage the youth with the smallholder farmers so that they get better understanding of their challenges and how to provide sustainable and affordable solutions. Despite the current youth migration to urban areas, young people are still interested in entering in the agriculture sector. However, they lack access to finance or training to build businesses that can provide sustainable income and rewarding careers. According to HEIFA report on the role of the youth and technology in shaping the future of Africa's agriculture. Technology facilitates farmers' access to real-time data on agricultural practices, seed varieties, pest management, disease outbreaks, market prices, and weather information. And I'm reliably informed of some of the Ayute 2023 innovations, not just the finalists, but also others that applied are addressing most of these areas. We heard Tito saying there's a big exercise that is ongoing. We are going to digitize, all the farmers will be registered, and we are able to get all the information in Kenya. And within the next 1 or 2 months, that should be ready. We also have a lot of all other digitization and digitalization processes going on, and the current government is very keen on that. Technology-enabled agricultural services have proven to bring significant benefits to the farmers, ranging from provision of relevant information to an increase in income through greater access to markets. The role of agricultural technology to support productivity and efficiency for smallholder farmers, and the importance of partnership between the government and the private sector and development actors. And I'm happy that we are here with a lot of our partners. We have IFAD here, we have FAO here, we have the embassies and the other development partners, and not forgetting the financial institutions and private sector. They really, really support what we do in government. The youth view agriculture as a job sector of last resort, unfortunately, reserved for the low-skill, low-income, rural-based, and uneducated individuals. A career in agriculture is also not attractive because land for large-scale production is very limited. In addition, agricultural activities are considered the least worthy of time and investment. But you've heard from the panelists who have been here that all of us must eat every day. And even today, I think we've eaten a lot of livestock products and crop products and byproducts. To address this, there is need for stakeholders to invest in the youth-focused, scalable models that provide access and linkage to financial services, technology, entrepreneurship training, job creation, mentorship programs for the youth. I am delighted to be here today and be part of this initiative that is offering some of these solutions. However, there are some challenges. The agricultural sector is yet to fully exploit the potential of the youth, and it remains largely unattractive. The major underlying issue affecting the youth participation in agriculture is not limited to access to land, agricultural finance and insurance, knowledge, skills and extension services, and the use of innovative technologies and markets. The decreasing number of young people involved in farming as an occupation business is a signal of distress in the agricultural sector. And I think, is it last week or there's been a trending message that very few students are even applying in the colleges and universities. You get one student applying for an agricultural course, and some universities have actually closed some of those courses. So we are not doing very well as far as that is concerned, but we hope that this is going to change. But we also have opportunities like rewarding innovation, and that is why we are here. Access to opportunities that drive innovation is key in motivating youth involvement in agri-tech, like this Ayute Africa Challenge that we are here for today. And we give thanks to Heifer International. Thank you. Sustainable opportunities such as competitions that reward participants with the means to carry technological innovations are important for youth interested in agri-tech and smallholder farmers. Kenya has seen a dramatic reduction in rural poverty driven by rural agriculture and are significant opportunities for farmers. Kenyan youth have also relatively high engagement with information and communication technology, with notable opportunities available to youth in agricultural services such as investment, service providers, logistics, capacity, and value-building careers. If you look at any of the value chains, there are a lot of support services required, and we know that the youth are really involved in those services. Partnership with government. We have a lot of stakeholder engagement with the government, and this should be a very big part of every component in a program. Engage us as government and how we can unlock the key challenges and accelerate sustainable transformation. The government welcomes partnerships with Heifer and other stakeholders in the room, and to support innovative youth who have solutions to challenges that hinder the productivity of smallholder farmers, because that is our role, dealing with the smallholder farmers. The large-scale farmers can afford to contract professionals, but ours as government, we deal with the smallholder farmers and, of course, the pastoralists. Such supports can include access to land, tax waivers, physical policies that deliberately support the youth, and specifically agri-tech innovations. So we would be happy to see where we can collaborate together as government with any of our partners and development partners and private sector who are present here today. Finally, the entrepreneurial spirit of the Kenyan youth, which is visible across the country, already attests to how these youth are finding local innovative solutions to everyday problems in health, education, and agriculture. So we must all see the possibilities. Youth, women, innovation, and tech-driven agribusiness will be a game changer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Halima, for the speech and the commitment by the government in support of this. We are all present. We had been forewarned that we will see a bubbly man come in. At this moment, I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Tony Omonsa. Just stand and wave to the crowd. That's the bubbly man. He's in the house. Thank you very much for making it to the event. Now we are moving to the next stage of our program, and we are at a point where we want to recognize the finalists by issuing them awards. They've gone through the program, and we would like to recognize them with some certificates. But before then, I would like to call upon Madam Bernadette Mutinda, the country manager E4 Impact, to give us the journey as it was. in Ayute Africa Challenge 2023. Karibu Daktari.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Are you as excited as I am? Yes, I think we've gotten to a very critical stage of today's event. Just to take you through the journey, first let me say that I'm very, very delighted to be here. As E4Impact Foundation, we are delighted to work with HEIFA International for the second year running. We were here, I think, a time like this last year, celebrating the winners of last year's Ayute Challenge. E4Impact, just a brief, is a spin-off of the Catholic University of Milan, and our main objective really is to train impact entrepreneurs, and we do so through various interventions. And I would like to say maybe the reason why we ended up working with HEIFA International is that we run an accelerator and incubation program in our current office. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go further, I think it is important that we acknowledge that Kenya has very innovative youth, and that is a fact. I was fortunate enough to participate in the challenge as a judge at a certain stage. And sitting through the presentations made by different Kenyans, I was like, where is the government? Why are they not here? I wish they are here to hear the kind of solutions that are coming from the youth. When I was listening to our panelists speaking, and they mentioned the various challenges that we are facing as a country, I would like to tell you that most of those solutions that we are looking for can be found in this room. Our innovators, our youth, have very interesting solutions, and I would like to call upon the government, take your time and get to learn what is coming from the Kenyan innovation ecosystem. The Ayute Challenge 2023 was bigger than 2022 in many ways. One, we made deliberate efforts to ensure that we were able to draw participants from all over the country. And we did that by dividing the country, if I may put it that way, into 8 regional economic blocks to ensure that every county was represented. And it was also bigger in the sense that we deliberately looked for more partners drawn from all these from all these regional economic blocks, especially the hubs, the youth innovation centers that acted as our voice in terms of just creating awareness that we have the Ayute Innovation Challenge running. And that way we were able to draw many applications. I would also like to say that it was bigger in the sense that from the lessons that we drew from last year's challenge, we did realize that we cannot clump all these companies into one category because they are different. So we ended up having 2 categories, or what we were calling 2 tracks. So we had track 1 that was attracting, or rather that is made up of innovators that are at a younger stage, ideation stage, and so on. And then we also had track 2 that had bigger companies, those that already have a minimum viable product. So as Agnes had said earlier, we started in February, and we did so by having a co-creation meeting with HEIFA International, just to make sure that we came up with a good criteria to be able to attract the kind of innovators that we were looking for. So we were able to come up with a criteria that we used to, attract the innovators, and we were looking for companies that are established or operating in Kenya. Number two, we were looking at companies that are at early stage or startups, if you like, and have at least been in existence for 3 years. And then we were also looking for companies or innovators that have innovative agri-tech solutions responding to the needs of the agricultural value chain, across the value chain, what Mr. Tito here was talking about earlier. Then we're also looking for companies that have a focus on impacting lives of smallholder farmers, which Heifer is really known for. And then finally, we were also looking for innovations that demonstrate a strong potential to scale, because we know that every year we have many innovations coming up, but the scalability is really what is questionable. So we began in February, and we had our call for applications, and we were able to attract about 518 applications. And out of these 518 applications, 222 were really full applications, because some people did not really complete, the application process very well. And then from the 222 complete applications, we did the preliminary screening, and we were able to narrow down from 222 to 137. And remember, we are looking at 8 regional economic blocks. So basically, the whole of Kenya is really represented. Then we continued with further interventions in terms of training these innovators to better understand their innovations, to better present themselves, to better package their ideas, the challenges and the solutions that they are bringing on board. And we were able to move from 137 to 122. Out of these 122, 56 were in track 1, those at ideation stage, and 66 were at the scaling stage, if I may put it that way. And we continue to train them, mentor them, and we went through a series of processes. In the interest of time, allow me not to mention all of them. We went through several stages. And at this stage, we were able to categorize them, that you belong to category 1, you belong to category 2, or if you like, track 1 and track 2. And they have been pitching and improving their presentations, improving and, refining their business models as we go along. And what I can say confidently, and this one you can take to the bank, we have reformed and refined businesses right here. Even if you don't win today in terms of cash awards, believe you me that all of you are winners. Yesterday we were able to have an interaction with the judges. And when you listen to the judges saying, you guys have done a wonderful job. And these judges are seasoned, experts. They are working with all innovation centers in Nairobi and across the country. So they get to, interact with many businesses. So when you hear them saying that you guys have wonderful companies, I believe it. So we have good companies here. So I would call upon the likes of KCB and other partners in the ecosystem. As we come to the award, please hold our innovators, hold their hands and support them. Anyway, and forgive me for getting, carried away along the way, but it's just the nature of innovations that I've been able to see. Personally, the first time I interacted with them, I was like, what am I doing in this office? Maybe I need to be out there and, getting to provide solutions as they are. So finally, we were able to go through several screening stages. From the 222, as Agnes said, we were able to arrive at the final 21, the finalists. These being 11 in track 1, that is the incubation stage, and 10 at the acceleration stage, if you like. And from there, we were able to take them through an incubation and acceleration program for 2 months. And during these 2 months, they were given technical assistance in the form of capacity building. They were taken through design thinking. They were taken through business model design, and so on. We were also at this stage able to partner with other partners like MasterCard, who were able to walk through them through mentorship, and we appreciate you, MasterCard. They were very, very instrumental in mentoring them through scaling and so on, and other partners that I'm not able to mention in the interest of time. So today, we are presenting to you 21 finalists. And these 21 finalists are winners in their own right. But today we should be able to unveil the winning 3, if I may put it that way, really, in each category. So that is the journey that we have been able to walk with the entrepreneurs or innovators, if you like. A very interesting journey, a very, what would I say? A learning journey, because personally, I keep on learning, relearning, and learning. Is that how they put it? Yeah, because every time you interact with an entrepreneur, you realize, oh, there's a better way of doing things. So without further ado, that is the journey that we have been able to walk. So I would like to invite to ask Agnes to come back and take us through the next stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bernadette, for walking us through the journey of Ayute Africa Challenge 2023. Now we go to the certificate awarding session, and to help us with that, I'll call upon some of our partners to assist us with the awarding of the certificates. Now allow me to call on stage Daniel Huber from MasterCard, who is the Vice President, Community Pass, Market Development. Daniel Huber has been one of the mentors during the Ayute Africa Challenge 2023. We are very appreciative of your time and commitment in developing the youth in agri-tech. So next I'll call the entrepreneurs. I'll start with agri-tech analytics, represented here by the founder and CEO, Mary Ann. This is an agri-tech startup in smart agriculture that leverages on Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, satellite imagery, and data analytics to provide farmers with actionable insights towards increasing crop yields. Congratulations, and now I call upon Diana. Next we have Agronomy Plus, for the interest of time, represented by the founder, who is Michael Odhiambo. Yes. Agronomy Plus is an agri-tech enabled agribusiness that functions as Uber for agronomists. Agronomy Plus. Next we have B&B Electrics. I go deal with you. It's an agri-tech that bridges the gap between maize farmers and the millers through the M-Hindi application. Next we have Bytenza, Kipruto Brian. This is an innovative vertical farming system that allows farmers to grow crops in a controlled environment. And then finally we have EcoBristo, represented by Mutuma Murioki. This This is an agri-tech startup committed to sustainable pest management, a solar-powered insect trap that captures moths and fruit flies. Thank you very much, Daniel Huber. Now you can go back, and then we have our next partner to assist us with the issuing of the certificates.
So much. So next we have John Hissa. John Hissa is the Acting Director, Education and Youth, USAID. Welcome on stage, John Hissa. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali. So John Hissa is going to present certificates to the next 5 entrepreneurs and innovators. First on stage is EcoStarch. EcoStarch, they've managed.
If I show you my pockets, baby, are you gonna dance you? If I show you my wallet, I will show you the money. Baby, that's from you. Baby, move from you.
That's EcoStarch. They've managed to make unga from grass, edible starch from grass. Next on stage is ePoultry. The founder is Tracy Olude. Tracy Olude, they've actually innovated on how to ensure that our poultry farms actually use mobile-based platforms that offer robust solutions to poultry farmers.
Girl, you're behind is a killer. I can see you sensual.
Next on stage, we have Farmer Lifeline Technologies. The founder is Esther Kimani. Esther Kimani, come on stage. Farmer Lifeline, they use artificial intelligence and machine learning to detect and identify crop pests and diseases. Farmer Lifeline, where are you?
Zombie babalao, Magufuli babalao, Makonda babalao, Wasaficha malao.
Let's appreciate Farmer Lifeline Technologies. Next on stage we have Grow Agric. The founder is David Njonjo. David Njonjo, come on stage. Where is David Njonjo? So Grow Agric, what they do is they have a platform that helps link farmer to capital, farm management tools, training, and connects the farmers to ready markets at the end of the farming cycle. That is David Njonjo. Next we have Harvest Care. The founder of Harvest Care is Dr. Rose Ramkat. Dr. Rose Ramkat, where are you? Karibu sana. So Harvest Care, what they do is they help in ensuring that our fresh produce are preserved to extend their shelf life. Welcome. Thank you so much, George Hissa. We really appreciate your support.
Thank you. Next we have John Njoroge, Director, Malaria Global Health Security Center for Excellence, USAID. And he'll assist us to award Kilimo Mtaani.
Let's go.
Kevin Ocheng. Kilimo Mtaani is introducing hydroponic farming system made from recycled plastic to smallholder farmers. Next on stage is Mwani Africa, Oscar. Mwani makes sea soil using algae that grow in the ocean. They make the growing material from algae from the ocean. Next is 1 million avocados. Kevin. And 1 million avocados, they apply technology in farming to increase the production of quality avocados. And this startup utilizes the blockchain technology. Next is Royal Food Industries, Hilary Liboy. And this agri-tech focuses on biotech solutions that improve on the nutritional value, state safety, taste, and sustainability of food. Congratulations. Next we have Spike. S-Bike Limited, Jeremiah. Spike is combating the challenges of lack of clean and affordable cooking oil, fuel options for low-income households in Africa. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you so much. So next we have another category of innovators that we want to award the certificates. With us, we were expecting to have the Secretary of Youth Affairs, but in his place, I want to welcome our CEO to just come and award this certificate. This is, thank you so much, Esther. So let us welcome Silo Africa. Sulma Agri Value, sorry. Sulma Agri Value. The founder is Aisha Langat. Sulma Agri Value is providing financial inclusion. Hawa ndio wenye pesa, wanatulinganisha na wenye pesa. Financial inclusion for smallholder farmers. Welcome, Sulma Agri Value. Can we appreciate her? Thank you so much, Aisha. Next we have Tush Kami Industries. The founder is Miriam Mukami Nyambura. Miriam Mukami Nyambura. This is an agri-cosmetics company working with smallholder farmers to produce healthy, safe, quality, and affordable cosmetics. Urembo nayo. Thank you so much, Touche. Is it Touche or Tush? Touche. Next we have Vermifarm Initiative. The founder is Rayford Mutegi. Rayford Mutegi. Vermifarm Initiative is an agricultural enterprise that is focused on transforming the farming landscape through innovative solutions that enhance climate resilience. Let's give him a clap as he takes his certificate. Time is of essence with climate change. Thank you so much. Next we have VunaPay. VunaPay, the founder is Koya Matsuno. Koya Matsuno. So VunaPay provides instant payouts to smallholder farmers through agricultural cooperatives by offering end-to-end produce and farm input management solutions. Let's give him a hand. And next we have Silo Africa. Silo Africa, I didn't forget you. The founder is Eliud Rugut. Eliud, karibu sana. Silo Africa serves smallholder farmers with digitized grain silos equipped with an advanced aflatoxin and pest eradication device system. Internet of Things powered. Give him a clap. Last but not the least, we have Zamil Farms Limited. And the CEO is Mildred Adhiambo. Mildred Adhiambo, where are you? So Zamil Farm is a goat banking startup. Come on, there is a goat bank somewhere. It's a goat banking startup that aims at increasing the number of goat farmers by reducing the cost of venturing into goat farming while ensuring risk-free production through shared production space and under one crop management system. Thank you so much. Asante sana, Esther. Now, say now.
Now.
I said whenever we are exchanging gears, Agnes has to come and join me. Because I can't shift these gears by myself. We have to be together. The innovators are now breathing in and breathing out. This is the time to unveil the winners of the Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya Awards. Are you ready? Are you ready? To start us off, we want to thank Astro Aerial Solutions. They are one of our key sponsors of this event, and they are the key sponsors of this process. And Astral Aerial Solutions have actually offered 2 scholarship awards to 2 of our innovators. And these are not just, thank you so much. And these are not just ordinary scholarships. Someone here talked about drones. There are 2 innovators here who are going to be trained on drones technology. So on stage, let us welcome Julie McKenna. Julie McKenna, come on stage. Julie McKenna is the head of projects, Astro Aerial Solutions. She will come and present the 2 scholarships. Guys are going to learn about drone technology. Can you appreciate Julie as she comes? Now, this is a big secret. This is a time when we now open envelopes. Julie, how do you feel about this?
It's exciting, like all these interesting innovations. I mean, it's an exciting place to be. I'm excited to see.
Thank you so much. It's like a drone is watching us. So I'll invite Diana to come and just present an envelope. Inside that envelope is the name of the first awardee of our scholarship. Before you open, let's just confirm that nobody had opened it before. Okay, so Julie, are you ready to unveil to us who is the first winner of the Astral Aerial Solutions Scholarship Award?
I am. And the 2023 Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya Award goes to Agronomy Plus.
Agronomy Plants, if you're there, look at that. Can you give him a clap as he comes?
Agronomy Plus will be able to get training courtesy of Astro Aerial on drone management. Congratulations. Drone operation.
Mambo bado, mambo bado. I can see how you're going to deal with the drones. It's all yours. It's all yours. Diana, can you present to Julie the next envelope so that she can unveil the next winner?
The 2023 Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya Award goes to 1 million avocados. Congratulations.
I'm really happy avocados won. I love avocados. 1 million avocados. You can pinch yourself as you walk. Can we celebrate him as he takes his award? It's all yours. It's all yours.
Thank you very much, Julie. The next award, now we are getting to the hotter and hotter awards. Now we go to the cash awards. Earlier we had mentioned that we had 2 tracks, the ideation stage and the product stage. So now I call upon David Njenga to award our second runners-up for the ideation stage. Karibu sana, Advanta Solutions. These are one of our partners and sponsors for Ayute Africa 2023. Karibu sana, David. Now, I request Diana to hand over the envelope. David, kindly hold on to the envelope. Don't open yet. Kindly check whether it has been opened before by anybody else. It is still intact, yeah? So kindly open the envelope. Mambo yamechemka. Kindly read for us who the winner is?
And the winner is Silo Africa.
Congratulations, Silo Africa. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Jenga. You can go back.
Next on stage, we want to, thank you so much. Next on stage, we want to invite Miss Anika to come and help us present the next award.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'll call upon our CEO for Kenya, Tony Omwansa, to help us award our first runners-up for the ideation stage. Karibu sana daktari.
Yeah.
Check the envelope whether it is sealed. Yeah, it is sealed. Now you can open the envelope.
Yeah.
Tension behind there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kindly read for us.
Yeah.
The 2023 Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya, and the award goes to Agronomy Plus.
Yeah. Win that. 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 Win that.
DJ, para música, deixa explicar.
Yeah. Win that. 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 Win that.
And we celebrate him as he receives his picture of the moment.
Win that. 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 Win that.
Thank you so much. Next on stage to help us present the award for the second runners-up, Track 2. And just to remind you, Track 2 are those innovators whose idea are at product stage. They've already developed their minimum viable product. I want to welcome on stage Florence Kimata, the board chairperson, Heifer International Kenya. Let's welcome Florence Kimata, our board chair, to come and present the second runners-up award, track number 2. Welcome, Florence. I believe it's very exciting to lead such an organization.
It is.
So, Diana, are you ready with the envelope? Present the envelope to Florence, please. I want to hope that it is intact, tamper-proof, fully sealed. Shall we open it? Pole pole. Isn't it good to win? It might be you. Do we have a winner? Okay.
The 2023
Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya. And the award goes to Grow a Greek.
All my ladies.
Grow a Greek. Karibu sana. Let us appreciate him as he comes.
All my ladies. All my ladies.
Come on, give Grow a Greek a big hearty clap. Not only a certificate, but you get to receive also a plaque to remind you of this great, memorable day. Let's continue appreciating him. This is 6 months of hard work and great pitching yesterday. And you can now ask for an Uber or an air ticket. We are giving him 200,000 Kenya shillings to continue doing the beautiful, impactful, great work that Grow Africa is doing. Thank you so much. We appreciate you also, Florence, for gracing the occasion. Who do we have next, Agnes?
Thank you very much. Now we are getting closer and closer. Now we are at the first runners-up prize. And to help us award that, we have Mariatu Kamara, the country director, IFAD. Kindly join me on stage.
DanaMotion.com.
She done do me right, oh. But she just spent my money, oh. When I get the time, my mommy, oh. I should listen before.
Yeah, Diana, come closer with the envelope. Mariatu, kindly check whether the envelope is tampered with. Not tampered with. Kindly open and tell us who the award goes to. The first runners-up award. The winner is. Agritech Analytics.
DanaMotion.com.
She done do me right, oh. But she just spent my money, oh. When I get the time, my mommy, oh. I should listen before. She done do me like tonight. She just controlling my phone. She done do me like tonight. I don't get the stuff she no more. She done do me like tonight. She done do my mind go solo. She done do me like tonight.
Agritech Analytics takes home an award of 400,000 Kenya shillings.
You should keep it really shy. I see how you moving there. You better just stay in line. All I wanna do is just make you mine. You make my heart beat like playing rap. Now you wanna leave and say goodbye. African lady, you know say you drive me crazy. I can't let you do me shady. Baby, London baby, you know say you drive me crazy. I can't let you do me shady. The things that you do don't baby.
Here comes the check, 400,000 Kenya shillings. First runners-up, track number 2. Let's appreciate them. Now, at this particular time, it's not only me and Agnes. This is now a bigger gear. I need everybody. I said I need everybody. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
I think before we even get these people here on stage, we just need to stand up and stretch a little bit. You need the energy to celebrate these people. Just stand and stretch a little bit. Just stand and stretch your hands a little bit as we wait for these Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can have your seats, please. So now we get to the winners. Please, you can have your seats. Thank you so much. We want to announce the winners. I said the winner. Track number 1, winner. Track number 1, winner. Mambo imechemka hapa. Huyu lazima tumtafutie security. We need to get security. G4S need to be close. Because this prize you cannot carry by yourself. And to help us present this award, we want to welcome Jill Clements. Jill Clements is the Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of Ireland. They are our supporters and sponsors and partners in this process. Welcome, Jill. Can we appreciate Jill as she comes? Now, are you ready for the envelope?
No.
No envelope. How are we going to convince Jill to take? You're going to choose. Diana, give Jill the envelope, please. Is it open?
No.
What do you want to do with it?
Can I open?
Please open it.
Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. So the winner of the 2023 Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya, the award goes to... VunaPay.
VunaPay! VunaPay! Come on, somebody! Can we give VunaPay a standing ovation for the great work that they have done? Karibu sana. VunaPay. Come on, let's appreciate VunaPay. 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 Now we get the trophy.
250,000 Kenya shillings.
Kama kupenda bora nimpende mama yangu.
This is VunaPay moment. Let's give them time. The winner has to take some time, yeah? Now we present to VunaPay 250,000 shillings. Tuendelee kuvuna. Now, before we wish you well as you continue doing the great job that you're doing. Thank you so much, Jill. We really appreciate it also.
Thank you. Now. Hey, it's getting hot and hot. Now we are getting to the winner for track 2. That is the product stage. They have a minimum viable product that is ready, already in the market, and to be scaled out. And what are they taking home? That is a company which is ready to scale up. So they are taking home not hundreds of thousands, but 1 million Kenya shillings.
Is that a shout for 1 million shillings?
They better beef up the security as well. So to help us award our winner for track 2, I'll call upon Halima Nankeri, representing the PS, State Department of Livestock Production, to come on stage kindly. This one is hot. I'm looking at the finalists. How are you feeling? The tension is high. But we are all winners. At the end of the day, we are all winners. The more the winners, the more the merrier. So I'll ask Diana to hand over the envelope. Madam Halima, kindly check that the envelope is not tampered with. It has not been opened, right? So kindly open it and read for us who the winner is.
The 2023 Ayute Africa Challenge Kenya winner track 2 is none other than let's give a round of applause to Eco Bristol.
Can we give Ecobristo a better appreciation?
The best.
Congratulations.
Nothing less.
Congratulations.
Lead me to my destiny.
Congratulations.
I have waited patiently.
Wow.
I have vision, oh I believe.
We are talking about transformation here.
So stand
we are talking about innovation here.
For the champion.
We are talking about business here. Come on, let's appreciate this.
Stand up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Congratulations.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Bristol.
Here we go.
Bristol is taking home 1 million Kenya shillings.
It's just life, that's how it is. Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me.
The hashtag still remains.
For the champions, for the champions.
Ayute Tech Challenge KE. The hashtag still remains. Ayute Tech Challenge KE. Sema mambo imechemka.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What do you feel? Can you just tell us what you feel? How was your experience? Did you expect to be the winner for this challenge today?
No, I did not expect it.
What did you expect?
I knew I had some very innovative colleagues, so I knew anyone could have won.
Yeah.
And I'm very humbled that it's me, because a lot of work will now be put into what I'm doing and expand and move around Africa.
Yes. Thank you so much. Can we give him another round of applause?
I'll call upon all the winners, the 3 winners of track 1 and 3 winners of track 2 to come back on stage, as well as the scholarship awards winners. Then we can also have all our VIPs who have been able to, the 3 winners first. Kindly, all the winners, let's come on stage.
We start with the 2 winners.
We start with the 2 winners.
Vuna Pay, please.
Vuna Pay and
Eco Bristol.
Bristol.
So all the dignitaries.
Now let's have all the other winners, the 6 winners, plus the 2 scholarship winners, come on stage for a photo.
This the remix, yeah. The remix, yeah.
So fly.
Akon, P Square, Mr. May.
All the winners, please, if you know you received an award here, please come on stage fast. Time is running out.
Walk down the street,
Some of them don't believe they won.
it's your seduction to make sure that
And let us try and fit within at the center.
cause I'll kill anyone for your time. Yeah. Even though
Thank you so much. Can the other winners please join in?
Even though I got much more, I don't mind if you chuck my money.
Show your certificates and your
Chuck my money, cause I don't care. Chuck my money, chuck my money, chuck my money, cause I don't care.
Kibera Girls Soccer Academy, kindly prepare for your dance. We need to celebrate this.
Who's supposed to live like family? Hey, I know the lie. There's nothing stopping me. She dey feel my swag and I get money. I dey try my best to be somebody because I need it. This girl dey make me higher. I dey feel this, baby. You know go believe this girl na die.
hashtag Ayute Challenge KE. Hashtag Ayute Challenge KE. Ayute Challenge KE. Hashtag Ayute Challenge KE.
This the remix, yeah. The remix, yeah.
So fly.
Akon, P Square, Mr. Maybe, Convict Music. First of all, you're the type of woman that stays on my mind. Walk down the street, every guy wanna jump on your behind.
Kibera girls, come on stage for a dance.
You're the reason there'll be more, yeah. Tie, yeah. Even though I got much more, I don't mind if you chuck my money. Chuck my money, chuck my money, cause I don't care. Chuck my money, chuck my money, chuck my money, cause I don't care. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, cause I get to plenty. I don't care, I don't care.
Nice, nice. Thank you very much. Nice performance, Kibera girls. And now we've come to the end of our event. Thank you everyone for being such an awesome audience. And to our innovators, congratulations. And to all the other innovators out there, kindly be on the lookout for such and similar challenges so that you can join and benefit and grow the Kenyan agriculture sector. As we wind down now, I welcome on stage Francis Mwangi to give a vote of thanks. Karibu sana, Francis.
It's the remix, yeah.
Thank you, Agnes. I know it's been a long evening, but a very, very exciting evening. I want to say thank you, first of all, for all of you for being here. I want you to turn to your neighbor and just tell them, thank you for being here to experience the Ayute experience. Thank you for being here to taste the Ayute experience. To all our partners, as you can see reflected in the screen, we want to say thank you. I'm not going, because of time, I'm not going to name one by one, but we want to say that your contribution has shown that you are committed to elevate innovations that are transforming agriculture. I know I don't want to keep you much any further, but I want to say thank you so much for coming, from everyone who has contributed to make this event a success. Tunasema shukran and God bless you. Thank you so much.
She's gonna make me higher, higher.